So today there's no internet in all of New York, which is where I live. So I'm going to do a little programming with no internet. The project is going to be kind of simple. I've been wanting for a while to just make automatic montages. So when I guess in a previous video, I've created the software that edits these videos, and it basically just finds anywhere that there's silence and cuts it out, leaving about a half a second before and after every cut. So I want it to detect when there's a long sequence where I'm not saying anything, just coding coding. And I want to have it time lapse that to maybe a fixed duration and put some music over it. So, and I'm thinking for the music, I'll auto-generate it. So I need to find, hopefully I've already downloaded some packages that can help me with that. So this is the script that I've created to split all of my videos by silence and then put them back together again and write them to a video file that's of the correct format. So here it's figured out the ranges. There was some logic to figure out whether there were overlapping ranges after I added a buffer to the beginning and end of each silent range. I didn't want them to, if they overlap by just a little bit, the two clips, after finding the silences and then expanding them a little bit, I don't want it to play that overlap twice. Anyways, after all of this logic, I should have the ranges I need. And then I would just want to say if there's more than, say, a minute of silence, then I should add a mini montage. Okay, and here's where I need some no internet skills. So I've created the subclip and I want to time lapse it, but I can't remember how to do it. So one nice thing about Python is that the source code is always there. And actually you can see that there's even, for subclip, there's documentation included. If I right click on subclip, go to definition, it'll actually take me to the source code. This actually isn't very helpful. So fx sounds right. Speed x. That sounds good. Returns a clip playing the current clip but at a speed multiplied by factor. Oh, or you can use final duration. So that's great. So we'll just make final duration 10 seconds. And how do I do this? Can I just call speed x? So now I'm going to guess. And we'll clip it down to 5 seconds. Okay, and I'm going to just go ahead and save this recording, and then I'll test it on this. Okay, so it gave me this really uninformative error. Got an error and exited. So I'm guessing this has to do with my new effect. So now I'm just going to take this and test it in the REPL, in the interactive. So let's start up IPython. I need to import all of the things I need. And I need to load a clip. Okay, that seemed to work. So can I just call speedx? Speedx. It is a method. So final duration equals 10. It did do something. So let's try to save this. Wow, look at all those errors. It really doesn't like this. Okay, let's try again, except I'm just gonna set the other parameter, which is factor. So factor equals 5. That still really doesn't like that. And again, it's not giving me informative output, so this is the sort of thing you would immediately start Googling, but I don't have that option. Oh, but it's outputting something. Is it? Okay, let's just scroll up through these error messages. Oh, I actually remember. Still really doesn't like that. I'm just going to start guessing. So let's see what happens if I make the factor an even number. Doesn't like that. And if I make the factor a fraction. It likes that for a second. Maybe there's something wrong with my clip in the first place. I was just trying to output the clip by itself. It seems to still be writing something, which is very strange. No, it doesn't like that. Let's get out of here. Start it again. I wonder if I'm trying to load the file that I'm currently writing to. This is sort of a guess and check method, but usually how I do things. It likes that. So I was reading. So there's actually two MKB files in here, and one of them is currently being written to. So that's a problem. Oops. Okay, final duration equals 10. Go. Ooh. Let's just write the video file out, make sure that works. Oh, there's something very strange happening here. Is it really 9 minutes long? It is. Okay. I keep referring back to code I've already written because I can't really look things up. Okay, this is working without all of those other options. So let me try this again. It really doesn't like that. Oh, this is very finicky. Maybe I'm using this incorrectly. Man, what is this FL time? This is interesting. I'm noticing that video file clips have an attribute called makeFrame, which takes a time t and returns a frame. So maybe I can just overwrite this. Let's work in a new file. I'm tired of typing everything into here. I'm actually dying on memory usage right now. I'm going to close some stuff down. Still not doing so well. I'm using 10 gigabytes. Wow. Oh, I might have a lot of. Okay, let me close down Jupyter Notebook. And Slack and Mail. Okay, I went ahead and did what I said I was going to do, and it gave me the same problem. It's so interesting that my base example isn't working, because the script has worked every time. That's so interesting. So it doesn't work from an interactive Python terminal, but it'll work when I just run the script. That's a little bit infuriating. I'm going to try another of these FX just to see if I'm doing this right. So let's try black and white. And it just takes a clip. Well, at least it seems to be working. So I'm not going to wait for this to output. There are some interesting other effects that might work. It's amazing how slowly this is going compared to if I had internet. Okay, so I'm just going to look at where this is erroring out. So it's inside makeFrame, buffer around, seek, skip chunk. Now I'm wondering if it has something to do with the video file. Let's use a different video file as the input. I'm wondering if the format actually prevents it from seeking correctly. I guess I can just use the first one. It still doesn't like that. Motion blur. So I'm just going to the directory where MoviePy is. Try to find something about this FL time. No matches. Impossible. I have a feeling that Visual Studio Code is going to be better at viewing this. There's some. Time transformation filter. This method does nothing for image clips. What is the mask? It says it's applying it to the mask, but I don't really know what that means. Usually a mask is something which decides which pixels should be shown. I'm gonna guess that's what it is. Okay, loop is another one that uses FL time. I just want to see if that works. So just loop 1 second 15 times. And indeed, it does not work. It seems like I should be able to alter this make frame and do what I want. I guess I've already tried this, but I'll try it again. Okay. Well, that's actually doing something, which is really encouraging. So if I set the duration to 1, and every time it gives me a t, I return the frame from t times 5, that should speed it up 5 times. Let's see. Yeah, I'm guessing there's just no frame here. That's just my guess. Although for any frame, if you multiply it by 5, there's going to be a frame there. Let's see if I just output the 5th frame, or the frame at time t at time 5. Doesn't like that. What about 0.5? Doesn't like that either. I feel like it's this set duration I just added. It is. What if I just manually set the duration? Wow. If this works.
Yeah, so it worked.
What was that? Well, the first second is correct. I'm getting closer. I'm just messing around with this package because I really don't understand the internals of it, and it seems like there's some deep problems. Okay, well that's still rendered. That's great. And it's 1 second long. Finally. Okay, so just making this more general. Let's see if I can put this inside. How to make this more general? Oh, without the internet. It's very hard. Okay, so I'm going to do a little play. Yeah, that seems to work. So what I'm doing here is just making sure that if you define a function with some variables and then return a function which uses those variables, that it doesn't get corrupted by the local variables. So here I set x equal to 5, y equal to 2000, but I created this a with x equal to 1 and 5, and it respects that. So it returns 1 times 5 times 7, which is 35, instead of 5 times 20,000 times 7. Okay, one thing I could do is just write out all the montage instead of having to think. Basically, I'm having a problem generalizing this. So if I wanted to loop, here I'm looping seconds 0 to 60 by second increments and making 15-second clips using the same process that I've laboriously figured out over the last hour or so, and smushing them each to one. This This might still work. Yeah, and anyways, I'm adding them to an array so that I can concatenate them all together. I mean, what I want is to be able to put my montages in with all my other clips. Should be very simple. It's funny, if I had internet, maybe I could just update MoviePy and all my problems would... Ooh, did that work? Ooh, if that worked. Ooh.
Okay. Anyways. I pressed the wrong button. Boom, plugged in. Okay. Anyways. I pressed the wrong button. Boom, plugged in. Okay. Anyways. I pressed the wrong button. Boom, plugged in. Okay. Anyways.
I think this is the big problem. It's the same one I'm running into, is that it's referencing self inside this lambda, but self is, it doesn't actually remember that that's the self it wants to talk about. So I'm going to try my little factory trick again.
Okay. Anyways. I pressed the wrong button. Boom, plugged in.
Oh, I see. I'm going to add I think I'm very close. My idea is that even though I've created a subclip, it's actually keeping all of the data. Get frame t times factor, it's just getting the beginning.
Okay. Anyways. I pressed the wrong button. Boom, plugged in. Okay.
Let's see if I can fix the audio just by copying and pasting this line. It really doesn't like that. I don't need audio trick, so I'm not going to worry. So again, I'd like to generalize this. I didn't realize it got so dark. Oh, is this going to work first? So I basically just took all of that and with all of my nonsense, a lot of this stuff, I set this up, the duration of this thing, set duration. Then I concatenate it and then set duration of that. You know, if you don't have this, it won't work. Return that clip. I don't think the internet would have even helped me with.
Okay. Anyways. I pressed the wrong button. Boom, plugged in.
Well, that works like a dream. So I'll just copy this over. Yeah, it should be as easy as just calling speed X, but instead it was an hour of fiddling. Let's give it a try. I'm nervous. This is the one that's probably. It should have some montage. Yeah, it's definitely montage. I'll take a break. You can watch this happen. You've got an error and exit again. And the strange thing is, it never actually. Oh, it got an error and exited. It's it read in the file that I'm. Is that true? And now it's recording. Maybe it really was something about the file format as well. Because if it never actually gets to this part where it adds them, I can't see why it would error. There's a problem that I'm using this on the outside and the inside of this. I'm not even sure if it's finishing detect non-silent, if there's something wrong with it. Let me try this. Maybe I'm running out of memory. Memory's fine. Got the same error. It did finish. So then what's happening? Oh, this is me. Got an error in exit. Okay, let's re-raise this because I don't know what's. I can't believe this is what the error that I ran into that caused me to start this whole adventure where I built this new montage. I mean, it's good that I did this. So just to recap, it's erroring somewhere in this function. And typically if it's not a keyboard interrupt, I just keep going. So this time I'm actually raising, and it looks like it's because of my append. Yeah, append only takes one argument. I'm adding something incredible. Or at least it's finding a montage. That's good news. Oh, it's finding multiple because I'm looking for greater than 6. This is in milliseconds. Let's stop this for 60. Try again. You know, and in a 2-minute, and we'll turn them into 1 second. Please work. Okay, we found a montage. Should at some point say adding montage. First said adding montage. Oh, I need to set last E. The beginning of the clip. Oh no, because I really don't want the beginning of the clip where I'm just sort of sitting around looking to be part of the YouTube video. Ah, I'd added the montage. Now for the really crippling error somewhere down here. Oh, it hasn't errored out yet, which is crazy. Failed to read the duration of it. Oh god. Wait, what? Oh, this was for the file. Hopefully this works. So today there's no internet in all of New York, which is where I live. So I'm going to do a little programming with no internet. So when the signs anywhere that there's silent a half a second, where I'm saying it's just coding or that duration, and help me with that and put some music. I'm thinking for so I need to. So today there's no. Okay, so it gave me this really uninformative error got an error and exited. So I'm guessing this has to do with my new effect. So now I'm just gonna take this and test it in the REPL, in the interactive. So let's start up IPython. I need to import all of the things I need. And I need to load a clip. It worked! It worked! Okay, so it gave me this really... That was it! It did it! Let me watch this again. And I need to load a clip. Oh my... 2 seconds, and then it... Okay, so it gave me this... Okay. So next is to add some music, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, I lied. I'm going to try to do this music thing. So I have PyDub, deals with audio, and I'm just scrolling through trying to find anything that I can use to turn an array into an audio file. So this is the main class. Oh, it's huge. It's called audio segment. So it takes this data argument, sample width, frame rate, and channels. I just need to figure out what to put into data. I know there is a, right, so raw audio data as a byte string. I just need to figure out, okay, I might be getting closer, from raw, and then I need some way to turn a NumPy array. Oh, is this from string? Okay, let's see if this actually works. So I can get an audio segment. I can load it from something else. So from file, and then just need to find one. Okay, so it gave me this. Good enough. Okay, and then I'm just going to start playing around with this and see if I can go back and forth between NumPy and an audio segment. And if I can, then I can start making music. NumPy is just an array, values. So test dot. I want to know, okay, this raw looks like. Get array of samples. I don't understand why these are just -1, 0, and 1. Okay, let's go a few seconds in. There's 44,000 samples ever. Let's just go to like the. It's not looking much like an audio file. It's very confusing. Now, what do you suppose these are? Get frame 0 of my audio segment, byte array, and they do look like ones and zeros, -1. You know, it's possible that I imported that MP3. Maybe I need to do from. Let's see if it's the same. It is. I'm going to try to plot some of this just to see if this makes any sense. That does make sense. That looks like an audio file. This is less than a second of it. And I guess this is 16. No, the maximum is 6. And they're all integers. Ooh, that's just silence. That's pretty cool. So this is the first second. Let's do the first 10 seconds. Yeah, okay, so this looks like. Now I just need to figure out how to go from this back into an audio file. Oh, actually, I think I don't have to go all the way down to the bottom because I remember there's something called generators. Signal generator. Ah, sine wave. Beautiful. So I just give it a frequency and then I ask for 2 audio segment and give it a duration. Let's try to make a boo. Yes. Sawtooth, sine, white noise. Does white noise have any? Let's see. Aha, so instantiate a white noise, 2 audio segment, and export it. Works. Let's make some sine waves. Okay, it took me upstairs. This seems to work. So I have a tune. These are in half notes. So this is a minor third here. So it goes boom, 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 boom. That's the hope. And I just have sine waves generated for each of these notes. And I didn't realize. So I know that every step in a scale is a multiple of the frequency. Like you multiply the frequency. This is starting on middle C. Right. Starting on middle C, and then you multiply it by 12 square root of 2, like the 12th root of 2, for every next half step. And that's because like 440, like 880 is going to be 1 octave higher, double the frequency. And it's all multiplicative. And I accidentally multiplied it by just square root of 2. which is obviously wrong. Maybe not obvious, but this is what that sounds like. Oof. So let me fix that. Okay, I know this can be simplified, but for now, just want to see if it works. That's right. Let's make it go faster, way faster. And let's see what effects I have. So in PyDub, yeah, there's some effects. Normalize, speed up, strip silence, compress dynamic range. These are all really simple. A low pass filter could be useful, but not for a sine wave. Pan, oh, they've got almost nothing. Invert phase. There's almost nothing. There was another file, SciPy effects. Oh, these are more filters. Yeah, more filters. It's not going to be very useful. Oh, unless I have a saw wave instead. Let's do sawtooth. Yeah, and then and this is a really cool thing. So if you have a list of clips, so these are all audio clips. They're of this like audio segment class. Like after I convert them to audio segment, you can just call sum on the clips and it adds them together, like puts them end to end. That's just really nice notation. Yeah, how do these effects? Oh, it takes a segment and returns a segment. So let's get a filter in here. I think a low pass filter. So the reason why this won't work, so a filter splits the audio into all of the frequencies that are a part of it. So when I'm talking to you right now, this is a vast combination of different frequencies. Technically, it can be expressed as a sum of that nasty sine wave that I was just showing you. And what a filter does is it splits it into this sum of sine waves and then deletes some of the sine wave and then pushes it all back together. So a low pass filter lets the low end pass. So it'll delete higher frequencies, and I think that's probably going to sound better. It also gives this kind of like wah idea. I'm hoping that I can tune this, but I'm guessing I won't be able to. Yeah, it just gets a cutoff, so I can't really change it continuously. But maybe if I get into this, I can learn a bit about audio processing. Low pass filter at, I don't know, we'll say 440. I don't know what's going to happen. Go. Oh, I didn't mean to. What if I lower this? It sounds the same. It sounds very similar. Let's put them back to back. So I'm going to try every filter from 0 all the way up to 400 at 50 step increments and then export the result. Okay, maybe not from 0, maybe from 5. There's also this click at the beginning that I really don't like. I'm sure there's something in effects like a fade in. Oh, speed up could be interesting. Yeah, what if I compress the dynamic range? What happens if I do that? It takes much longer. And it's still... Also, let's start doing something crazy here. I want to shuffle these every time, so instead of going... Maybe it goes like... You know what I mean. Let's see if this works before I explain it. I still really don't like that clicking. Why is it only at the beginning of a riff? Huh. So basically what I'm doing is just selecting some random tune, so to speak, from these 4 notes. Probably should add more notes. Maybe 2. 5, 7, 8. Let's just make it minor. And then let's add the octave above just to see what happens. Let's only make it 4 notes, or 5, or 4. And I have the riff go backwards. So whatever it does in reverse afterwards. That's what this is. And then I also kind of want to add some silence between them. I don't want an empty one. I want a silent one. Yeah, exactly. I don't think this compressed dynamic range is doing anything. And let's add 2 layers of low pass filters just to see what happens. Alright, it still sounds like crap. That sounds pretty good, except for that, like, beginning. Let's try a different generator. I wonder if, like, alright, there's a triangle and a square. Maybe square would be nice. Oh, and I haven't added that extra octave yet. We'll see what that does. It's almost music. Except for that click. That click is terrible. Okay, let's open it up in Audacity. Whoa. Continue. Stop. Continue. Yeah, there's this huge click at the beginning. Look at that. I feel like that's got to be an artifact of one of these. Let's start removing things and see if it goes away. Let's get rid of the low pass filters. These should be square waves. Oh, those look like square waves. Oh yeah. I don't know why they're only approximately square though. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me turn down my desktop audio. Hopefully this helps. Okay, that's better. There's no click. So now I'll just, let's see what happens if I compress dynamic range now. Maybe I can mess with that filter at some point and make it do what I want. I'm gonna make sure I keep that around. So it's almost good. It's just this compressed dynamic range thing has a lag for some reason. So it doesn't get this very beginning. But maybe I just cut it. Alright, what happens if I do a low pass now? I'm literally just experimenting. It doesn't look like anything really happened to anything. Oh, whoops. And if I only let under 100 hertz go, is this actually frequency? Ah, frequency in hertz. Oof, look at that. That's much more pleasing to the ear, I have to say. I still can't, wouldn't be able to bear putting this in the montage clips. Yeah, I wish I could just deal with these as math. I could do a lot more things. I also want some way to combine multiple audio segments together. Like to actually layer them on top of each other. Like maybe I want to add a bass. I want something more powerful. I'll make something anyways in the meantime. Oh, fade in. That's great. So that's really useful. I'll use that. How does this work? Yeah, duration. So back to my little thing. I'm gonna fade this in 20. So I'll give it some rise, maybe some character, and maybe it'll also get rid of that craziness at the beginning. You never know what you're gonna find when you're just looking through functions. Don't really know what that means. Let's just go to the audio segment file, and I think I can look at the structure. No. Oh, outline, exactly. So audio segment, you can loop through an audio segment. You can subtract audio segments from each other. Oh no, they can't be subtracted. What does append do? This code is completely confusing to me. Fade, okay. Overlay. Yes, exactly what I want. And I think again it's probably going to, returns a new audio file. So back here, let's just make a saw wave. Call this the melody. I just want to make a saw wave that goes underneath the whole thing. Maybe a very slow rhythm, not really in sync. Again, very confused by this code, but it's a good kind of confused. Like I have things to learn. think I will loop. That sounds cool. Let's do 110. Let's do 2 octaves below. Let's fade it in super comparatively. And let's make it like, I don't know, a half second long. And we'll fade in for 300 milliseconds. I hope this works. That looks kind of cool. Okay, we're getting there. Let's see what this, can't really hear it. Why does it sound so bad? Maybe it's this compressed dynamic range thing. Let's just do that to the melody. Let's fade this in longer. Let's make it 5 seconds and we'll fade it in for 3 seconds. Let's up this. I think this low pass filter is messing things up too. Again, just all guessing. Ooh, that looks. Sounds like crap. What about white noise? Vroom, vroom, vroom. Yeah, we'll put white noise through, again, a low pass filter around 200. And I like the idea of it coming in once a second. Vroom, 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 vroom. And maybe just a little bit of a. Yeah, we can compress these independently and then put them together. I think it's different than if you put them together and then compress them. They'll start compressing each other. This isn't really getting any better. Okay, one thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to try out just random lengths of time. So it'll be like 100 plus or minus, 100 milliseconds plus or minus 100 milliseconds. So some of them will be twice as long. Actually, why don't I just say plus 200 times random? So it's not going to be less than 100, and it'll be up to 300. Now let's turn this back to let's make it a sine wave. Just see what happens. Let's get rid of this last low pass filter too. I don't even really know if they do anything. Oh, I forgot my argument for a sine. I'll make this 110 and get rid of the low pass filter. That sounds so bad. I definitely needed this low pass filter at the end. Let's make this 220 and let's add a bunch of others. I just want a bunch that are very close to 220 but not quite. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's add 10 other sine waves. This is not how you make good music. So they may be off by as much as maybe 4 hertz, 5, and we'll fade them all in the same. But we'll do it. Let's do this half the time instead. I like at least that this package hasn't crashed on me yet, like Pi Movie did. Just that drone. Wah, 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 wah. That sounds just a little bit off too. Okay, I'm gonna try one last ditch effort to make this sound good. Okay, I'm making a bass line, so I'll make it go dum 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 dum. I'm bad at music. Sure. We'll make them a bit quicker. 800, 800. Let's just do 3 of these. This is gonna be so bad. It's not getting better. Okay. It's fun though. Actually, that bass line sounds way better than what's going on top. Yeah, and I don't think this random timing was a good idea. Let's get rid of that. Let's just make it go slower. And let's make it quieter. How do I make it quiet? Apply gain. So let's just chunk it down a few, -5, -5. This is turning into a mammoth. Another thing is I could make the riffs happen more than once so they sound like they're on purpose almost. Yeah, let's Let's make it a random number of times. 1 and 3, say. I'm actually inclined just to delete that top part, or to make it sing the same thing, or at least make it in rhythm with this. So these are 800, and here, each of these are 200, and then I put some silence between them. Oh, actually, at the beginning they're in sync. Let's just see what happens here. Let's just do this 3 times, and let's make it even quieter. I'm curious, I just want to check what you guys can hear. Oh, it's very loud. It's really loud. You probably can't even hear me when that's playing. That's better. It's still bad, but it's better. Still don't feel like this is doing anything. I wonder if it was better when I didn't have that upper octave. Let's try that. It's almost okay. This bass line's really boring. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Curious. Oh, I also changed it to a sawtooth. Maybe it'll be better. Okay, I simply have to stop. I've been doing this for probably 2.5 hours. So I'll play this final version and call it a day. I won't actually put it in my videos because I don't think it's very good yet. But at least, I did demonstrate playing around with this PyDub package without having any idea of what's inside of it or how it works. Just sort of went into the source code and found what I needed. Of course, there wasn't much, but I got enough to actually work with music. And earlier I figured out how to do this really, oh man, this was a pain. Yeah, figuring out how to speed up clips using PyMovie, which apparently is just not supported in the current version. I had to do all of these terrible debugging steps, made no use of the internet, although, like I said, I don't think it would have helped. So with that, we'll listen to the outro. Oh, this makes me want to puke. Okay, that's like the worst music ever. So next time, I want to mess with Super Collider because I know there are much better tools for doing music in Python than the stupid generators and very limited effects within PyDub. Yeah, I know there's a way to use Super Collider within Python, so hopefully I can do much better music that I can actually use. And actually, at some point, I'd like to mess around with these tunes. Like, I'd like it to invent the tunes on the fly. It does do sort of a random selection of notes, but it's very boring in how it invents them. Like, for instance, it would be cool to go through all of the MIDI libraries' histories and find common jazz riffs, put them together, and actually make really good music. Anyways, that's for peace. Oh, that was weird.